We're live at the Spero Clinic in Northwest Arkansas where we're celebrating Bia's last day of treatment. So Bia was diagnosed with CRPS in 2021. When she started with us, you were 8, 9 out of 10 level pain. Now she's been holding zeros for the last 4 weeks, and we're gonna miss Bia. The clinic's not gonna be the same without her, and we couldn't be more excited for her to be heading home pain-free.
All right. Okay, we're gonna get through this. All right. So at first I wasn't really sure if I wanted to talk about what brought me to Spero. I wanted to focus more on the unique opportunity to speak up about the magic recipe that Dr. K and the entire Spero team worked tirelessly to gift humanity with. After 24 weeks, I now realize that the entire story is important to truly paint a picture of hope and the gift of fighting for your life. I realized that what made Spero an authentic option for me was to hear other patients' stories. And I believe it would be a disservice not to do the same and not to pay it forward. So first and foremost, I must acknowledge and express that I would not be standing here today had it not been for the love of my life, my everything, my husband, my Carlos. And it started already. Whoa, okay. He's the one that found Spero. He's the one who never gave up on finding a way out of the darkness. And never let me give up. He stood by my side when I couldn't stand on my own 2 feet. The one who cared for my babies when I couldn't. Guiding them when they would ask what they should do when they see Mama on the floor crying every night. I'm alive today, thanks to you and our beautiful Sophia, Leo, and Marcelo. And I'll spend the rest of my life showing you guys how eternally grateful I am to be your mama and your wife.
Oh, you make me cry. That does not happen often.
That's not cry.
Never.
He's a robot. The ravaging war of chronic illness isn't just one that affects us patients, but also the families and support systems. It's a cruel one that I'll never cease to be amazed by, not only the strength of my own babies, but of all fellow patients and their families. You are suffering from a pain that is equally excruciating. You inspire me, and I think I can speak for all of us patients when I say that you inspire us to keep going every day. So on to my story. What most tales paint a picture of an accident or a day or a moment that changed everything, what my existence was like before CRPS, before the nerve injury and a silly slip and fall was like, is nothing close to peace, serene existence, or a healthy life. The truth is that struggles for me were lifelong. They had always been there. The perfect storm was always brewing. Between night terrors, sleep studies, anxiety, seizures, epileptic studies, over 15 neurologists, psychologists, therapies, depression, PTSD, OCD. We could write a book. Kidney, gallbladder, appendix issue, a pregnancy lost, and the list goes on and on. I was honestly running out of organs to remove after a while. And many theories to help me cope, and so much more. Never quite getting an answer on why things had always been so complicated. I didn't know the meaning of a painless existence. However, what I couldn't have imagined was how much worse it was possibly gonna get. And the accident that truly changed our lives happened on May 21st, 2020. And it was the match that lit my entire nervous system on fire. It was the beginning of the pandemic. We were all isolated and afraid. My wonderful husband was traveling the world, bringing life-saving supplies to those who needed them, while we were home I was home trying to keep our baby safe, keep our family company alive, and get through a dark time like the rest of the world. At the time, sorry guys, I need to compose myself. My Sophia was 6 and Leo was 1.5 when a small puddle on the floor caused my leg to go fly and break and change our world. The following 4.5 years were filled with the most harrowing experiences of my life. beginning with multiple surgeries, being juggled around, looking for a diagnosis, which I didn't have for 3 years, and endless hours of physical therapy, injections, hyperbaric, ketamine, acupuncture. All the while, the pain was only getting worse and spreading to all my limbs like a wildfire. The desperation was such that I went as far as implanting a device on my spine that would supposedly cure me, when in reality, it just was another broken promise, only good for a few months. It's been off for 4 months now. We turned it off a month after I arrived here. And my hopes and dreams for the future were slowly vanishing, drowning myself in work, covering myself with beautiful tattoos to have some sort of control out of the complete chaos that was my existence. Because the feeling of their needles piercing through my skin felt better than my homeostasis, which was fire. All those were ways I tried to find in order to escape, distractions from the harsh reality of how my body was failing me, all of which also began to fail. Just when I thought I couldn't hit a lower bottom, life had a way of proving that could always get grimmer. We tried everything, even moving across the country from Miami to California, to find geographical peace in order to focus on my health and stop working, to put the career I adored on hold because I could no longer type on the computer or hold a pen. On paper, though, I had everything anyone could dream of for a fulfilled and happy life. A gorgeous, supportive husband, beautiful kids, wonderful family and friends, finally our dream home, but inside I knew none of it mattered. I was broken, so deep in despair that a minor phone call to schedule any medical appointment was overwhelming. I just couldn't do it. Worst of all, I couldn't hide it anymore. The issue with pain is that unless you suffer from it or live with someone who suffers from it, it's very difficult to understand how hopeless it all is, how much despair is present at every moment of the day. But my babies knew. And Carlos relentlessly dedicated his life to research every night, every possible avenue to bring me back to life. And that's how he found Spero. That's how he found hope. My first call with Alexis was enough to convince me that I had to give this a try. Previous attempts at finding an inpatient treatment facility had failed because I was meant to find Spero. Speaking with her, it felt so natural and easy, like we spoke the same language, the language of survivors and fighters. And after watching a few graduation videos, I was sold. The logistics of getting to Fayetteville, we all know, are not easy. And the premise of leaving my babies behind for so long terrified me enough to not want to do it. But I knew I had no other choice, because I wanted to cease merely existing. I wanted to live. And today, February 13th, 2025, I stand before you as a new woman. Pain-free, able to do things I never imagined I would ever be able to do. Able to run when I was never able to my whole life. Able to explore my artistic self and draw nonstop. A little too much, but that's okay. And return as the best wife, mom, daughter, and friend that my loved ones deserve. Make no mistake though, the road to rebirth was not an easy one. Do not be fooled into thinking that Spero will offer you a magic pill or a simple miracle cure. From the moment you arrive, the deal is very clear. You will be given the tools to succeed, but the fight is yours. I suppose the biggest takeaway has been how the right place and people can show you the power you have within yourself. That is what happened to me. Mask off, isolated from everyone and everything I knew. Away from distractions and coping escapes. Once and for all, facing the demons that were always there. From going into the innermost levels of my subconscious mind to detoxing from all the medications, and I even have the bag to prove it. All the medications that only made me sicker. and I can say goodbye to this giant bag of pain now and re-educating my muscles and nervous system. There are moments when showing up wasn't easy, as I'm sure everyone here feels that way. But I did, day after day, when I felt more exhaustion or soreness than I've ever felt before, and even sometimes more pain. Another part of the magic in this place is finding a community. For the first time, I was able to find my tribe. Spero was a university of life I never knew I needed. I remember watching my first graduation in awe. How could it be that everyone here could perfectly understand my human condition? That every interaction, consoling hug, or smile was made in perfect synergy because we're all going through the same thing. The relief of finding a place in which we so perfectly belong is simply life-saving. As fellow Sperians often say, we understand each other in ways we've always longed for in the outside world. That's what makes it so scary to leave our bubble. I was no longer ashamed of my seizures, of my enormous list of health issues, of the types of things that I believed my whole life only happened to me. I was seen, believed, and understood wholeheartedly. And on that note, I must give all my love to my fellow patients. Know that you were all contributors to saving my life. The bond we shared here will forever stay with me. I'm proud of each and every one of you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Keep on fighting. If I was able to get there, so will you. Trust yourself and trust your strength. You will see that relief is possible. And to my Spero sister Marjo, who left, I have to give a shout out. I love you, ma belle. Tu me manques tous les jours. Et tu sais à quel point je suis fière de toi. Sorry guys, a little French. Finding you was the one many gifts that CRPS gifted me with, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Not only do we all have each other's backs, but we can rely on a team of angels on this planet that dedicate their lives to saving us. To every single person who works for Spero, I've already thanked you in private, but I must do so again. From my sweeties as in the front, as well as my runners, mine, I say mine as if you belong with me, right? The face and backbone of the clinic, you carry us with such grace, with such love. You give us the strength to keep fighting every day. And all our therapists and team members, your rooms and conversations are the nutrients that heal our souls. My Jacob and Katie. Come on. I gotta take off my sweater. I'm burning, guys. Sorry. It's too nerve-wracking. I'm gonna strip on camera. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for the deep conversations. The laughter is always encouraging me every step of the way. Trying to expand my appreciation for country music. I don't know if that went too well. Anyone can say that, whether it did or not. You changed everything for me, and you just made every day so bright. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. And Ellie. I don't know why I said it so aggressive. Ellie, my goodness. And everyone knows that I brag about Ellie because, my goodness, Ellie helped me through 2 weeks of hypnosis here. How you have changed everything for me. There's a Bia before Ellie, there's a Bia after Ellie, and you know that. After starting together, you were able to reach part of my subconscious mind that were so deeply buried that I would have never been able to reach them without your gracious guidance. And with your help, let them go. I will never forget our moments together and some much needed hugs that we needed to hug it out together. I hope you think of me when you make yummy brigadeiros. Thank you. Dr. B, similarly, I don't believe there's enough words to thank the team who wholeheartedly saved your life, but You, Savannah, Jen, and Paxton, and everyone were my cheerleaders every day. The only words that seem silly and will never be enough to express is thank you for everything, for your incredible memory. How? You remember everything. Your kindness and never-ending empathy. You're one of a kind hero that instead of a cape, you wear gloves that destroy your hands, and for that we thank you. And I hope you keep drawing and sharing your art with me. And the entire NMR Army, your brilliance with all the devices to help rewire our entire nervous systems. Thank you for constantly cheering. And finally, of course, my Annie.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get through this.
We're gonna get through it. Okay.
Okay. I thought I was done finding soulmates when I found Carlos. Don't worry, it's not weird. But I found a whole other connection when meeting you. It isn't weird, it's just, you know. From our crazy similarities to our never-ending stories, you are a gift in my life, and I will forever be grateful. You have helped me rise from the ashes, find strength I never knew I had, provide soothing when I needed it the most, and reading every emotion perfectly, every signal my brain and my body were giving me. The world is such a bright and beautiful place because you are in it. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm honored to know you, and I'm so proud of you. And I've never seen someone work so hard. Everybody in here works so hard, and you just shined so bright, and I'm so excited for your life.
Yes. If you're watching this, and like it was for me, you lost all hope, just know it doesn't have to be this way. Life is worth living in a peaceful and pain-free way. Spero helped me regain that, my dignity, my strength, and my dreams. And if it happened to me, it can happen to you. There was a time I thought pain would define me, but I know it just refined me. So, baby, you finally did it. You fixed me. And babies, and mom and dad, I'm coming home. Guys,
The shoes.
my babies, please. We're all gonna go for a little run after this. Right?
Run, Forrest!
And we're wearing the Forrest Gump shoes. Not sponsored by Nike.
Not sponsored by Nike. I don't want to get
It will be great. It will be great.
I mean, I'll take it.
E o beijo.